A lot of people want to be rich, but only a few succeed to become one. There are a lot of reasons and factors as to why people fail in their desire to become wealthy. The reasons may be because they are afraid to fail and would end up not taking any risks or lack focus on the path to becoming rich. Some factors that may be present in your life can be the main culprit as to why you're not succeeding with your financial goals. Hi! Welcome to Grayson Finance. In today's video, I'm gonna show you 5 factors in your life that are keeping you poor. At number 1, your family and friends. Your family and friends are important people in your life, and they can always influence your decisions about things. If they are giving all the bad advice on financial matters, however, they can be one of the factors as to why you're not able to succeed financially. Most of your friends have the ability to influence and change your mindset as well. If your friends' decisions keep them stuck in a place financially, it may lead you to do the same. Remember that the people you surround yourself with have a big hold on you. This allows their influence to bleed through your decisions, beliefs, and many more. If you share the same beliefs and doings with people who are struggling to reach financial success, you will most likely end up being the same. On the other hand, if you have financially successful friends, they will influence you in a positive way and will also motivate you to become successful like them. They can share their knowledge, ideas, and actions with you that you can slowly adapt. With this, soon enough, you will also become successful like them. Your family members and other relatives can also influence you to stay financially unsuccessful. Unlike friends, you do not have the liberty to choose who can become a part of your family. The often heart-wrenching truth is that a lot of people who are born into families of a specific financial situation are most likely to end up staying in the same place. This is often not because of what they lack, but because of the mindsets that remain constant instead of change. From an early age, you watch your parents do decision-making and management of their finances. Because of this constant exposure to these practices, you end up adapting them as well. As you grow up, you will slowly realize the hold your family's influence truly had on you when you were faced to make the same decisions and management as an adult. For instance, if your family is often afraid of taking risks, it is likely that you will adapt this fear too. Number 2, fun. There is always room to have fun once in a while. Fun can only become a bad factor when you seek it excessively. If you constantly want to have fun and will allocate lesser time to other activities, it will affect how productive you can be. Fun can become a distraction from beneficial activities and will greatly affect your wealth accumulation. Sometimes, people even lose track of the time from having so much fun. If you watch Netflix, you may lose track of time from being too immersed in the movies or series. Browsing your social media accounts may also have you waste so much of your time every day. It may become a distraction and will keep you from doing other beneficial things for your financial goals. To overcome being too immersed in fun, you must always implement discipline within yourself. Number 3, being afraid. Fear can be felt if someone senses danger or is becoming aware of something that can be dangerous. Fear is a valid feeling. It's not always a bad thing to be afraid. The only time where fear can be bad is when you become excessively afraid that it actually hinders you to become rich or causes you to freeze in place. While it is normal to be afraid sometimes, it is always necessary to overcome it if you want to be successful in life. The most common enemy that you may encounter in your journey to become rich is the fear of failure. Being afraid of failure only makes you attract failure even more. One thing that you need to remember is that no matter how hard you plan, there will always be uncertainties. These uncertainties are variables that you can never control. A lot of people are afraid to start any new ventures because of the fear of the outcome. In order to get through this, only focus on things at hand that you can very well control and stop worrying about uncontrollable variables. Most people also possess the fear of starting. In fact, if you have a fear of failure, then it is also most likely that you have a fear of starting as well. Most people become afraid to start a new idea or business because they're afraid of failure. There are multiple dreams and ideas that become wasted because of fears. There will always be constant what-if questions before starting anything out. Your mind will be cluttered with questions like, what if I fail to do this? What if no one will come? Or, what if people don't really like this idea? In reality, no one will be able to predict what will and will not happen in the future. One thing is for sure, however, you will never be able to find the answers to your questions if you don't act with your ideas. Most often than not, the people who manage to become successful are those who had overcome their fear of starting out and failure. You need to keep in mind that uncertainties are normal for every business that is starting out. Another fear that may prevail is being afraid to take risks. The possibility of loss is always there when you're starting out on something new. If you have manufactured a product and people are not interested in buying it, then you will surely encounter some loss. On the other hand, if people actually like your product, you will be able to gain profit from it. If you're constantly afraid of taking risks, you will never be able to progress from where you are now. If you only focus on the profit that you may gain from starting, you will be less likely to become afraid to take risks. Being afraid to be rejected is also one of the most common fears. A lot of people have low self-esteem and constantly worry about not being good enough. Most people with fears like this can become subject to being afraid of asking for a salary raise at their job even when they do deserve it. If you're a business owner, this fear will hinder you to make a good profit, as it will lead you to charge lower than what your product is actually worth. Number 4. Failure. Failing will be a huge factor as to why you're still broke. This doesn't mean, however, that you should never fail. In reality, failure is necessary to succeed. Overcoming failures is the right way to achieve your goals. You may be in the idea that failure is a bad thing. When you were young, if you fail a test and your parents knew about it, they'll complain about the grades you receive and will oftentimes punish you for them. As you grow up, you become hateful of failures because of your environment that shunned any type of defeat. However, you need to see failures in a new light. With failures, you can pinpoint what you did wrong, and this will help you plan out corrections for it. Every mistake that you do should be taken note of and be learned from. To become successful, you should never give up when faced with failure. Every successful person has encountered failure once or twice or even countless times. Their key to being successful is that they learn from their mistakes on these failures. The determination and strong will to succeed prevailed beyond the failures they've encountered. Number 5. Lacking focus. A lot of people lack focus on their goals. Having a lack of focus can become one of the biggest factors as to why you're still poor. No matter how many things are going on, learn to take everything one thing at a time and focus only on each matter at hand. Focus on one thing first, and when you're successful with it, then that's time where you can move on to the next thing. People who lack focus on things would often decide to do multiple things at once. If you're the type of person who would start 3 businesses simultaneously, then you probably lack the focus. 3 businesses started at the same time can turn into a failure for you. The right thing to do is to focus on one business, make it flourish, and be successful. Then move on to the next business that you want. Thanks so much for watching! If you like this video, make sure to press like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to keep you posted on new helpful videos.